fun part.
And please tell me again how do you pronounce your full name?
Oh, no, I just call it Robin Steinberg.
But Robbins.
Uh, uh,
Robbins or Robin?
no, Robin.
Robin, okay.
Just here is. That's my name.
Yes, Robin is fine.
That's okay. This just for you.
Okay,
Just,
this is
just,
autographed.
no. I mean, just in case you
Okay.
forget.
Okay,
Just
Robin.
forget.
Yes.
So I pronounce as Dr. Galvras Ahmad.
Gulfaraz.
Gulfras.
Yes, like golf.
Okay.
Gulfaraz.
Oh, Gulfras. Okay.
Yes, Gulfaraz.
Gulfras Ahmad.
Yes, yes,
Okay. Okay.
yes.
One, two, and three. Hi, welcome to the National Quiz Choice Online News, and welcome to the Steinberg Review. I'm Robin Steinberg, and welcome to my show again. Today we have Dr. Gulfras Ahmed, who is the Chief Operating Officer for Petroleum Exploration Private Limited in Pakistan. And today he's going to share with us some updates on what is going on with the oil and gas scene in Pakistan itself. Dr. Gulfras, thank you for joining me here
Thank
in National
you.
Quiz Choice.
Thank you, Robin.
The Steinberg Review. Tell us about the future of oil and gas industries and the way it's been supplied throughout the country of Pakistan and South Asia.
Oil industry, petroleum industry is a very old industry in Pakistan. The first well was drilled in 1866, so it's been almost 150 years or so that the petroleum industry has been there. We have, as of today, found enough natural gas, enough in the sense that it is now supplying 50% of Pakistan's primary energy mix. And ours is essentially a natural gas based economy. And because we have diversified onto natural gas, we have a very large, rather critical shortfall of natural gas. As far as oil is concerned, we have not been able to discover enough oil, and about 5% of our total primary energy mix is the indigenous oil, and 27% of our primary energy mix is the imported oil. So that is a very serious burden on the economy of Pakistan, is importation of 27% of our primary energy in the form of oil, both crude oil and the petroleum products. Other than the petroleum, oil and gas, we also have very large potential for shale gas. And we have just about started looking into exploration for shale gas, and there is a very strong likelihood that shale gas might be able to help us in meeting some of the shortfall of natural gas. In addition to that, there is a large potential of coal gas. We have 185 billion tons of lignite of coal, which is very large deposit. It's a world-class deposit, and it is not so easy technically as well as economically to use that coal by moving it away from the mines. See, the best possibilities are that we do in situ gasification and use the coal gas. So we have started experimenting with the technologies and the economics, and if we are successful in gasification of the coal, this will certainly be a very big prop to our gas availability. Then there is also a possibility of biofuels using the same lignite coal and turning them into biodiesel, for example. Diesel is one of the petroleum products that we import a lot of it. So if we are able to synthetically create biofuels from the lignite coal, that will also be a great help. We might be able to reduce our need for import of oil as well as natural gas if we are able to take advantage of this coal and use it for coal gasification and also for biofuel. So in terms of other sources of energy, Pakistan has a very large still untapped hydroelectric power. We have 40,000 megawatt of economical potential, of which 6,000 megawatt has long been producing, 4,000 megawatt is under construction. That will take the exploited part to 10,000 megawatt. Still, there is a 30,000 megawatt of hydropower, and that requires some mega dams, huge dams. And there has been fair amount of controversy, mainly political, because the people who are likely to get uprooted in those mega dams, they do create a political issue for their uprooting. So otherwise that, and then there is now almost 80,000 megawatt potential of wind energy in a corridor where the wind energy is harvestable, come from starting from shore and going up about 200 miles into the country. And of that, we are currently almost completing the first phase of only 1,000 megawatt wind turbines, and there is 79,000 megawatt of unexploited wind energy. Then, as you may be aware, only lately wind energy has almost become cost competitive with the thermal power generation in terms of cost. That's a great news because wind energy, which is not environmentally as damaging, although it has its own little environmental aspects, but it's not as damaging. So if we take all the potential sources of energy in the country, the natural resources, then oil and gas, and potential of finding more gas, we do have a positive outlook. But given all these natural indigenous resources, we still would be importing a lot of energy. And currently we are importing only in the form of oil, crude oil or petroleum products, but we want to import it in the form of natural gas also. And for that, we have multiple plans. One plan is short to medium term, which is import of LNG. And we are, one is a very short term plan of importing 200 million cubic feet of gas through LNG, through spot energy market in a very quick time frame. And then we are setting up two trains of 400 megawatt each for 12 to 15 months or 18 months importation of LNG. This LNG we are buying, we are not going to either secure the source of LNG or set up our own FSRUs. We are actually going to buy regasified gas into our gas pipeline, and we leave the arrangements, the upstream LNG chain arrangements of securing the supply, transporting the LNG, setting up the FSRU, regasifying it and selling it to us in the form of natural gas. So this is 1,000 million cubic feet of gas importation plan to LNG. Then we are at a very advanced stage of pipelines. Iran-Pakistan pipeline is nearly completed on the Iranian side. It's about to be started on Pakistani side in next 2 years. By December 2014, this pipeline is slated to be completed, so commissioning would be sometimes in 2015, and that will bring to us 750 million cubic feet of gas to begin with. Then the second pipeline is TAPI, which is Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India, and that too is at the advanced stage of planning. Iran-Pakistan pipeline is under construction, and that is likely to be completed in 2016, and that will bring to us 1.3 billion cubic feet of gas every day. So put together this way, both the LNG as well as the pipelines, we hope to get about 3,100 million cubic feet of natural gas into the country. And we are also doing a very urgent um, importation of LPG and then using LPG and mix to produce another 200 million cubic feet of natural gas. So this way, our import plan is to import 3,300. In addition to that, our own indigenous gas fields are under development, and by 1st of July next year, which is about 6-7 months away, we would have additional 750 million cubic feet of gas available indigenously, and that then will help us, will not totally remove the shortage of natural gas, but it will help us to reduce the current load management in natural gas, which is crippling the economy.
Now, what's our plans for Pakistan to implement self-sufficiency? Is there any plans for that?
Well, let me just say that for self sufficiency, we have one principal challenge, that we do not produce enough oil ourselves. And there are certain sectors of industry and economy which are specifically dependent upon oil. Take the case for transportation, air transportation, train, railway transportation, and road transportation. We knew that our dependence on import of oil will continue for these sectors which are oil specific. So we took a very far-reaching initiative about 12 to 13 years back. In fact, it's very coincidental that I'm speaking to you now. In 97, I launched a national drive, a campaign of promoting the use of natural gas into transportation sector as compressed natural gas. And I set a target for ourselves to have in 1 year 50 CNG stations and about 100,000 vehicles converted onto CNG. And I want to share with you that this campaign of ours, it picked up speed. And today Pakistan is a world leader in use of natural gas in the automotive sector. We have the largest number of vehicles running on CNG in the world. We have the largest volume of natural gas going into vehicles in the world. And we have the highest percentage of CNG running vehicle of 61% of the total vehicles in the country. So to an extent, we have reduced our dependence on oil. For example, in 2010, we had over 2.5 million tons of gasoline saved, which we would have imported. It would be something like $2.5 billion worth of import by using this CNG. So to an extent, our move to diversify the transport sector on natural gas is a long-term plan to reduce our dependence on imported oil. At the moment, we are forced to spend 40% of the oil on power generation because the not enough gas is available for power generation. But once we are able to meet the gas needs of the country through import and indigenous production, then we'll cut down the use of oil in the power generation and also expand the use of natural gas into automotive sector, and we will greatly reduce our import needs of oil. So even if we do not reach self-reliance, technically speaking, our import dependence would reduce. At the moment, we are importing 27% of the energy. It then may come under 15%. So, and not until we are able to discover more oil in the country that we would be able to achieve the 100% self-sufficiency.
Now, speaking about self-sufficiency, how important is the relationship with Iran and China, and especially South Asia? And do you see further cooperation with countries like Malaysia and Singapore and Brunei
Yes.
in terms of the supply
Energy.
of gas, especially gas and oil?
Our relations with China are all-weather relations. They're deeply rooted relations. They've tested time-tested relations. We have fairly large-scale cooperation with China. As you know, that Pakistan and China together, they built a road that runs over the Karakoram range. It's called Karakoram Highway that connects Pakistan, Islamabad with Kashgar in China. That has opened a land route for trade and exchange of goods and visitors. In addition to that, we have a large number of Chinese in Pakistan working on various projects of development, some of them energy, some of them communication. I would say that these are nearly ideal relations. We also have some kind of cooperative projects, China and Pakistan together working for last 12 to 15 years have jointly developed a fighter aircraft, and both the countries are inducting that aircraft into air forces, but that aircraft is going to be made available for export too, and nearly 12 to 15 airlines have already lined up their request to Pakistan for import of that fighter. We call it J-17 Thunder fighter. It's a light, high performance fighter. So these are the examples of strategic as well as technical cooperation between China and Pakistan. As far as other countries that you talk, Iran and Pakistan have reached a deep-seated understanding for this pipeline. Iranian president was in Pakistan, and so was the president from Indonesia and Malaysian Deputy Prime Minister last week when there was a conference of D8. So the relations between Iran and Pakistan are certainly getting deeper and stronger. There is no doubt that Pakistan is an ally of America for war against terror, and Americans are, as you know, the relations between America and Iran are very tense, and therefore sometimes that affects our equation, but we maintain very strong relations with them. As far as the relations with the countries in the Far East, Singapore, we traditionally maintain very good relationship with Singapore. With Brunei, we have very special relationship, and Indonesia, we look up to Indonesia now that Indonesia has picked up a very good pace of development. Is a developing country. Their economy is picking up, and we certainly look up to them. So our relations with Malaysia are very good. So we generally have a policy of very cordial relations with the countries in Far East and Southeast Asia.
Now, what kind of marketing strategies and discovery innovations that's going to take place in Pakistan, and what sort of policies which the Pakistani government is going to adopt in giving the full-scale cooperation with your companies, in discovering oil and gas?
And the discovery, from 1991, we started coming out with new petroleum policies, upstream petroleum policies, improving the incentives, making our package competitive with the rest of the world. In fact, Pakistani package sometimes is rated to be the best package in upstream exploration and production. And because there is a ready market available, if you find oil, then from the discovery well, you straight away start trucking the oil, and your revenues start flowing immediately after discovery is made, even before the field is developed. But since there is so much of infrastructure of gas pipeline available in Pakistan throughout the length and breadth, and if a gas discovery is made, even it's become possible to put that first exploration well where discoveries come on an extended well test, and you can still start producing the natural gas. So the revenues, whether you find oil or whether you find natural gas, start coming to you right away. As far as oil is concerned, we have a very low regime of royalty, and then we pay international price of oil, so the returns are very good. Similarly, for natural gas, we have kept improving the upstream package. And this year, we came out with 2012 petroleum policy, where we have nearly doubled the price of gas that we'll buy at the wellhead from the new companies, from the new discoveries, nearly doubled it. So we have given a lot of incentives for the in foreign investment or local Pakistani investment into the exploration and production sectors of Pakistan. And we have also, because we have a gas-based national economy, we have put out two additional policies. One is tight gas policy. If you do encounter tight gas and it is not um, cost effective to produce tight gas and sell it at the normal gas, therefore we have offered very good price as an incentive for producing tight gas. Then we also have come out with the third policy. It's called low heating value gas. If you find a gas which has low heating value, then producing it, it may not be economical to sell it at the normal gas price. So we have come out with the low heating value gas policy that gives you very good price compared with the heating value. So all the gas, low heating value that was staying in the ground is now coming to the surface for production. Then right now we are in the process of coming out with the shale gas policy. This is to incentivize the exploration for shale. We have sizable potential for shale gas in the country. So the policies that the government of Pakistan needs to come out, the policies are there, the good incentives, and the foreign investment into the petroleum sector has paid off because we have also a very good track record. You'll be amazed to know that 1 out of every 3.3 wells that are drilled upstream is a discovery. That's a very high rate. Compared with the world average of 1:7, we have half of that, 1:3.3. So given our strike rate, given our financial package, and the price of natural gas that we are offering, and the international price of oil that we are offering, and the expatriation of profits out of Pakistan in foreign exchange, there being no limitation, we certainly have an attractive exploration regime, and we hope that all countries and companies from all countries can take advantage of that.
Now, speaking about taking advantage of the incentives which the government of Pakistan has to offer, what sort of criteria for foreign investors have to be aware of if they were to do a joint venture with the
Yes.
Pakistani exploration gas and oil petroleum companies? And also, where are the gas and oil prone areas usually
Okay.
are found for exploration capacities?
As far as the criteria is concerned, some time back we had a criteria, and that was the companies they had to clear that criteria in order to be in order to apply for the concessions or be joint venture partners. And that shortlisting we have now given up. Any company that is an exploration company, exploration production company, and has a track record is able to apply for either a license 100% or for joint venture partnership. There is just some incentivization that if anyone, the country's constitution allows any foreign company to take 100% working interest in any block if they give the highest bid. Because this is a bidding process, totally transparent bidding process. And if they want to have joint venture partnership with Pakistani companies or other foreign companies, they are free to do so. If they do pick up a Pakistani company, E&P company as a joint venture partner, they have some incentivization, and the local companies, they do bring a considerable benefit into joint venture partnership of local knowledge of all, customs and practices, and also the geology. So in a way, it is one of the perhaps most attractive regime for exploration. The only challenges that we are currently facing is as a result of war and terror, the security issues which are developing, and also the governance issues which have come in the wake of this war and terror. But we do hope that as the planned withdrawal of the American forces from Afghanistan and NATO forces comes about in middle of 2014, that this war and terror will subside and our security challenges would also reduce, and this will open this area, which is the north and south Waziristan, which of course you would be reading all the time, that's a battlefield at the moment, also is very prospective. But currently, the areas which are under exploration and where their discoveries are being made, one is in the southern province, the province of Sindh, which has the largest contribution of natural gas production and also oil production. That generally is very attractive. But we luckily, our northern province, we call it Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. Previously, it used to be known Northwest Frontier Province (NWFP), and in last 7 years, they are now producing 22% of the oil of the country. Only last 7 years. Before that, there was no oil and gas production, and they are producing 6-7% of the natural gas. So that area is also very attractive, and in that respect, I may indicate to you that the new petroleum policy that has been put out 2012 that offers much better incentives for exploration investment in Pakistan. As a result of that policy, we have announced offering 60 land-based blocks for exploration licensing, and hopefully that should happen in the first half of 2013. So efforts are continuing to be made to attract more investment in exploration, and I do hope that these efforts will succeed in making Pakistan self-sufficient in natural gas in the medium term.
Now, for long-term prospects, what kind of plans does Pakistan and of course your company has in place in the next coming 5 years?
Let me just say this thing that as far as my own company is concerned, they have a next 2 to 3 years. They have drawn up very aggressive plans of drilling. We've been developing the prospects. Last 2 years, 2.5 years, we did not do any drilling because we were trying to develop the prospects and rank the prospects. Now we have a fairly healthy inventory of prospects. We have ranked them, and we are now wanting to start the drilling as soon as possible. But because of this 2012 policy, because of very good incentive price for natural gas, all the rigs which are available in the country, about 55 or so, are currently very busy. So we are looking for a drilling rig. The moment we get the drilling rig, 1, 2, or 3, we'll start our company's drilling campaign. And for next 2 to 3 years, we have very exciting plans of drilling and hopefully making a few discoveries. And after that, once you make the discoveries, then you get busy in development of those discoveries and production facilities. As far as the country is concerned, they have multi-pronged approach for energy. One, in the next 5 years' time, we do have plans to complete 1 mega hydroelectricity project in addition with the medium scale projects, and that is one target. On the gas import, completion of both these pipelines and start of importation is another target. And then within the shorter time frame, 2 to 3 years, is the importation of LNG. That's another target. In terms of the shale gas, we don't think that we would be seeing a sufficient volume of shale gas being produced in 5 years, but in 5 years' time, we should have actually gone over the hump of learning the technology for harnessing the and exploitation of shale gas. Similarly, in these coming 5 years, we should have again developed the coal gasification ability and using the gasified coal gas either for power generation or for supplying it to fertilizer. And then the other thing is expansion of wind power, maybe up to 10,000 megawatt of wind power is easily achievable in next 5 years, and the country has plans. They've issued licenses to the companies, and those companies have gone ahead and taken the ground, the physical location, land where they'll set up those things. So that is on the wind side. As far as the rest of the plans are the economic sort of plans to generate enough activity that we are able to utilize this high-priced the energy sources that are going to come in the wake of next 5 years, and then turn that into wealth and achieve some growth. So economic plan and energy plan go together, and we have 5 years are going to be very exciting. I may also indicate another reason why these 5 years could be very exciting is that our government has completed its tenure, and the general elections have to take place within the next 2 to 3 months, latest by March next year. And because of current serious energy shortage and also the security issue because of the war and terror, these two issues are the main election issues. And we are hopeful that the new government that gets elected based on these two elections, they are serious in making aggressive plans, policies, and going after these two issues, that is the energy and the security.
Now, speaking about energy security, how much of petroleum and gas is it needed to secure Pakistan's future on a daily basis?
Okay.
And does the government as well as your company are concerned with climate change?
First, I'll take up the climate change. That's a very interesting question. You may perhaps be aware that Pakistan's primary energy mix is the ideal mix in the whole world. So from climate change point of view, we are doing a lot of cleansing of the environment for the whole world. Why do I say so? That the world gets 27% of the primary energy from coal, which is the most polluting fossil fuel environment, the climate. We get only 6.7% from coal. The world gets only 23% of commercial energy, primary energy from natural gas, which is a cleaner fuel. We get nearly 48%. The world gets only 6% from hydroelectricity, we get 12% from hydroelectricity. So our energy mix from climate change point of view is an ideal mix. We have no pressures in continuing to expand our need for natural gas or for hydroelectricity or even for